Officers still firefighter Morris, firefighter Jim. Whole house is dead. Now, at the block house. There's a fire at the block house. She's still in the box. Don't worry, everyone. I'll rescue her.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh.
So quickly.
It's showing branding in the it's showing branding now in the slide.
Right, thank you. Something is almost gone.
Okay, so I'm going to share from somewhere for a bit. I would have to stop later on and share with second device, but for now, I'll just try to share it from this device so we can start.
Okay, please, thank you.
Hello, is the teaching going on? I can't hear anything. I can't see anything.
I can't hear anything, so I think they paused for a while.
You should be patient. They'll come up very soon. Just be patient and keep listening.
All right, okay, please can you go back one slide? Yes, please. Thank you so much. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes, we can.
All right. My name is Oganetiga Stanley, and sincerely apologize for the delay that we were facing. I'm guessing it's technical issues that I don't really know. So, I'll just quickly run through the course outline. We're going to talk about introduction to branding, what is branding, myths of branding, differences between brand and branding, types of branding, elements of branding, why brand is important, that's like the importance of branding. Next slide, please. Brand strategy, branding and marketing, personal branding as a business owner, and how to brand yourself. Hopefully, we'll be able to cover all of this before the time runs out. Okay, slide, please. All right, just a brief introduction about me. My name is Oganetiga Stanley. I am a brand identity strategist, a graphic designer, photographer, videographer, and everything about media. That's what I do. I'm also a graduate. I studied educational psychology, and right now I'm into everything concerning media, right? And I have a specialty in branding. So today would be going through the nitty-gritties of branding. So before we continue, I would like to get your idea of branding. So you can type in the chat, or you can talk back to me. What is your idea of branding? What do you think branding is? Hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I mean,
I can hear you. All right, let me make an attempt.
yes, please.
Branding to me means a representation of a business, an idea, or a person. Is a way a message is conveyed to the public, a short representation, or I don't know, but just a representation of to convey or to bring to the notice of the public a particular product or service or a person.
Okay, thank you so much for that attempt. Thank you so much for that attempt. That was awesome. Olusegun says a promotion of a product or business by means of advertising and distinctive design. Yes, that's part of branding, but that's not really what it is. Okay. I would like to take one more attempt before we proceed. Is there anybody else that would like to try? What is branding? What do you think it is? What is your idea of branding? So can you go to the next slide, please? Yes. All right. So branding is the process of creating a unique and identifiable identity for a product, service, company, or individual. It involves defining and communicating the distinctive values and attributes that set a brand apart from its competitors. One watchword about branding that everybody should know and everybody should, in fact, that's like the motto or the lubricant or the force behind the word branding is value, you know. So it's the process of getting the unique and identifiable identity, you know. When you give birth to a child, you have to give the child a name. You'd have a naming ceremony and all that. That's like, it's not like branding is the name of your brand only, but it's part of it. It's your identity, it's your uniqueness, your personality, your business personality. You know, in psychology, we thought we know personality as the uniqueness, the totality of the uniqueness of a human being, like your work step, how you laugh, how you think, how you act, how you react to things, how your attitude, your disposition, you know. And so branding is all about that. It's just basically the personality of your business, your name, your products, your goods, your services, how you are represented, your customer service, how people think about you also, and what people say about you. You know, branding is the process of getting people to know who you are, how you reach your goals, creating your name, writing your brand message. You know, it is basically all the efforts that you put into building lasting value for your customers. And so the word value is something we are going to be looking at again and again and again. And that's why there is always something called rebranding, because in the, should I say, the circle of growth or the life cycle of the business, there is a part where you have to evaluate your 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 goals, your principles, your products, your results. Get. And so by doing that, if you maybe at the end of the year you have to do your evaluation, and then you notice that you need to rebrand, you get, that's where knowing that comes in. So it's basically all the effort you put into building lasting value for your customers. It's satisfaction. It's not just having a logo, having a name, having beautiful designs. It's not just about that. It's just basically all the efforts combined, everything you do as a business. Personality is everything you do as a person that defines you. Your name, your actions, your words, your thoughts, everything. So branding is a combination of all of those things. It is your business. Let's take your business as a personality, and your business is a person. So it's basically everything your business does as a person. That's what your brand is. Okay, so do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma.
We are with
All
you.
right. Okay.
We are with you.
Okay. So next slide, please. All right. Okay. And so I want us to look at the myths of branding. Because if we look at the myths of branding, you'll be able to know as a business owner, it is very important. Even basically as an entrepreneur, it is very, very important to know what branding is and what it is not. So there have been several misconceptions about the question, what is branding? And these misconceptions have led to wrong definition of the word branding. So we're going to look at 4 of those misconceptions. They are very popular, and I'm sure many of us here have been thinking the same thing. So one of those misconceptions is that branding is logo designing. So when somebody has a business idea, for example, somebody has a business idea and the first thing that comes to your mind is, let me design the logo. You see, so that alone is not branding. Although logo designing is part of branding, it's part of creating your identity. It's part of creating your identity as a business, but branding is not logo designing. One of the misconceptions is that branding is logo designing, branding is packaging, branding is a product, branding is advertising. Now, whilst all these things are inside the package of branding, they are not branding. Like we saw in the first slide, we said before that branding is all the efforts that you put into making your business work, all the efforts you put into satisfying your clients, giving them value, what they want to see. So that's what branding is, and so you see, what is branding really? Now let's look at what branding is, because if branding is not logo designing, if it's not packaging, if it's not products, if it's not advertising, if it's not even services, then what exactly is branding? Next slide, please. All right. So branding is your efforts to building lasting value by satisfying customers. It is all the efforts you put in building lasting value. Branding is more of an administrative duty. You get, it is more administrative than it is. It is also creative, but it is more of an administrative thing. It has to do with both the administrative and the creative, but I feel it is also much more administrative, because that's where you get to set up your structures and those structures are what is going to help you build that lasting value. And then when you set up your structures, you'll be creative about implementing those structures. Do you understand?
Yes.
You talk back to me, guys, if you understand. You can also type in the chats.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I
All
understand.
right. Is it
Yes,
making
ma'am.
sense? All right. Okay. So it's all about giving the best to your market, providing them with the value they want, and giving them what they need. You get, so it's very tricky. Providing them with what they want You get, your client wants this, and then you end up giving them what they need at the end. So there's a difference between what I want and what I need. What I want is just basically it's in the future. I want this. I need this. It's present. So I need this right now. I want this. It's like in the future. I'm thinking about okay, in the future, I want to have this, I want to have that. But basically, you see what they want, and then when you are delivering your services, you in turn you now give them what they need. So it's about meeting the needs of your customers, looking at what they want, and then looking at then providing them with their needs. So it's the process of creating your message, your visual identity, your name, your voice, your brand voice, everything. It's where your logo and creation comes in. It's where you are now in the step of creating your visual identity. Okay, so branding is basically every step you take in building your business, building your purpose in your marketplace. At the end of all of these things, the end goal is to make sure that your customer or your client is satisfied. It's just to give them value. That's just what branding is. Branding is another word. You can just say value. What I do, anything I do to produce value, that's what branding is. Okay. Are we following?
Yes, I'm following.
Yes, ma'am.
We are following, man.
All right. Okay, can we go to the next slide, please? All right. So, knowing the difference, we want to look at the difference between brand and branding. If we look at the words, brand is just brand, and branding is just that they add ing. So, and there are differences between the word brand and branding. And so that if we understand that, you'll be able to know how to apply it in your business, how to create the whole structure, how to plan ahead, how to implement, and then how to execute all the same thing. So knowing the difference between brand and branding is important to your growth, your input, and your output in the marketplace. You get. So it's basically about your input outputs in the marketplace. And so here are some differences between brand and branding. They are different words. Okay, so next slide, please. Next slide. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, thank you. Now, a brand is a destination where you want to end up, while branding is the journey or the roadmap that gets you there. So your brand is like, if I'm traveling from Port Harcourt to Lagos, my destination is Lagos. So branding is everything that I do that will get me to Lagos. So from buying my plane tickets or my bus tickets or whatever, and packing my bags, arranging myself, selecting the clothes and what I'm going there to do, that's like branding. I'm just trying to explain it with your everyday movement and something that we can be able to relate with. You get. So brand is your destination, like the place you want to get to. That's, I see my business in 2024. I see me somewhere. You get. I see me supplying goods around the whole world. I'm a vendor. I'm a big name and all of that. That's like your sight, your vision, what you see about your brand. Then branding is then, okay, now this is where I want to be. So what do I do to get me there? That's what branding is. So branding is the journey, the steps that you take, the roadmap, like the blueprint, the plan that you now draw up the structure and everything. That's what it is. Okay, so your brand describes who you are and what you do. Okay, your brand describes who you are and what you do. Like if you see some adverts, maybe Sterling Bank, or I don't know, maybe just a corporate organization that's doing an advert. Sometimes you see them, you hear, who are we? You get, that's like their brand. Your brand describes who you are and what you do. And it is the promise you keep as an organization, the core idea behind everything you do. So it's like the vision, the 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 idea that is supporting, that's fueling your movement. It's like that thing that you have conceived in your mind about your business. That's what your brand is. To describe my brand, who am I? I'm a graphic designer. The graphic concept is a graphic design. It's a creative agency that helps small scale enterprises to put their businesses out there. I'm just trying to just give an example of what I mean. So your brand is basically who you are and what you do. That's what your brand is. And then the core idea behind everything that you do. If you're a cobbler or a shoemaker, what is the idea behind your this thing? Some people, like, maybe let me use a footwear company now, for example, and their motto is happy feet, happy journey, just something like that. So you see, so they are trying to make you see that they are a brand that makes your feet happy. You see, like, so branding, like we said, or brand is like your personality, and the words are, most times we try to use verbs or adjectives that are okay. Look at Coke. You will see them say open up some happiness. You get, they're trying to tell you that if you take Coke, meanwhile you're drinking sugar. So somewhere in your subconscious mind, you are thinking that when you take Coke, you'll be happy. Somewhere in your subconscious mind, that's what their brand is doing to you. That's what them as a brand is doing to you. You see some adverts, you see close up. Close up does an advert, and they are showing you that if you use close up, you will be able to woo a girl, by opening your white teeth. One girl will just, fall in love with you, and then you get that idea behind it. That's like, they are trying to paint a picture around their brands. They are just trying to, say this is what happens. We are alive. We are not static. You get. So your brand is like the instant reaction somebody gets when they hear of your business. For example, I say Coke now. Somebody is just thinking about, you are tired and a long day of work, and the first thing that comes to your mind, let me just take Coke and just relax. Let me just take Sprite. I know I'll have energy. Meanwhile, it's a lie. If I put salt inside, you get, it's not really that you have it per se. It's just that there's already this idea in your mind that thing is sponsoring. So most of the times, it works. Do you get? Do you understand? Are you following?
Yes, we are getting you.
All right. Okay. So yes. So your brand is the instant reaction that somebody has. We are trying to explain the difference between brand and
Yes.
branding. Yes, don't forget, we are trying to explain the difference between brand and branding. And we're still talking about what a brand is. So, like, basically, the instant reaction that somebody has when your business is mentioned, that's like the reason you do what you do in the first place. You get, and most of the times, your clients are the one that makes up who you are. And that's why referrals sometimes is very, very good, because by the time you satisfy somebody, you satisfy a client, and they're like, have you heard of this brand? Well, they deliver. For the last time they did this, they did that. Me, I shall know they'll deliver. That kind of thing. That's like your brand. Your brand is your force out there. Okay, so can we go to the next slide, please? All right, then branding is the process of getting people to know who you are. Okay, so branding is brand. is who you are. Branding is the process. So branding is like a continuous, is a movement. Why brand is just, that's like the goal. Your brand is the goal. Branding is the process that gets you there. So getting people to know who you are, how you reach your goals, creating your name, writing your brand message, all the efforts you put into building lasting values, how you deliver your services, how you speak with your clients, how you satisfy them, how you do everything to make sure that that's your brand is who you say it is. Get. For some of us that are Christians, who there's a scripture that says, "Who do you say I am?" And people were saying this, that, that. Again, who do you say your brand is? Who do you say your business is? That's who your brand is. And then the process of reaching that goal, the process of, getting to that place is what branding is. And you see, it's a continuous process because we evolve as human beings, we grow. And growth is upwards. It's always upwards. It's not, downwards. It's upwards. As you grow in business, you mature. There's always a place of rebranding. Now, that rebranding is also you growing. It's also you saying that this brand, I want you to get to this place. But the point is that you already have an insight of where you are going. And so you are making efforts to get to that place. So that's what your branding is. So branding is the journey that you are taking. And that's basically the emphasis of this class, branding, like the journey of getting to your brand. All right, so do you understand? Is there any questions so far?
I don't have any for now.
But yeah, it's kind of confusing though. But
Okay.
I'll relate to it.
All right. I know it's a bit confusing, but it's not the same thing. Like I said, okay, let me just say, brand is who you are. It's who you are. Then branding is the process of becoming who you are. Do you understand?
Yeah, it's just like you're telling a story. Along the journey, your brand leads you. The branding leads you to your brand. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
Yes. That's it. So your brand is in fact, the original idea. You have an idea, and okay, this is what I want to do. I want to be a shoe company. I want to start making shoes. Yeah, okay. I want to start selling clothes. Let's use maybe clothes, for example. Okay, for example, let's look at all these luxury brands like Gucci. Gucci. Now, if you hear Gucci, the first thing that comes to your mind is, okay, that clothes company, that's their brand. They also do maybe footwears and all and everything, belts and everything. But then their branding is the process of, at a point, maybe it was just clothes they were doing. Then they now started doing bags, or they now started doing footwears also. You see, those things are just processes to get them to where they are going. Like Gucci started from somewhere, and they see themselves in the next 10 years that they are all over the world. And for them to be all over the world, they want to penetrate America. And to get to America, they need to do footwears. Do you understand? So they now start doing footwears.
Get you. That's branding. In branding, you can change your branding along the line. You can change your branding.
Yes, exactly. It's not, yes, you can change it, but your brand is just who you are. Your brand is like your personality, your if you say I have integrity, my business will deliver. Do you get? That's your brand. Somebody hears your brand name and they say, those people, then they deliver. Those people, then they know their onion, they know what they do. In fact, they are professionals. But your branding is all the process of getting you to be that person where they deliver. So the effort you put, so that when somebody hears your brand name, they just have this satisfaction around them. They will not be fretting that what I ordered versus what I got. That misconception will not be there because you are who you are. All right. So is that clear?
I get
Yes.
very clear, very clear.
Okay. Okay. So can we go to the next slide, please? If you have a question, you can also.
Hello. Hello, good morning.
I thought.
We are here.
Okay. All right. I thought you stopped hearing me for a while. Okay. Okay. So we're still talking about types of branding, and one of them is product branding. And this is the type of branding that focuses on creating a distinct identity and a reputation for a specific product or line of products. You know, most of the categories that fall into this place are skincare, people in skincare line. They have a specific product or line of products. So that's like product branding. You see Eva soap or Lux soap or whatever. Those skincare, that's one of the field or line of businesses that fall in product branding. So if your field is, you're producing things, you may fall into this type of branding, product branding. So it involves developing a unique name, visual identity, and positioning for the product to differentiate it in the market. So we have this soap, this soap, this soap, this soap. And so those products, all of them, they are the same thing, they are soaps, but they have different branding. So that when you look at this one, you'll be able to know even the shape, the smell, the size you get. So you see. We also have corporate branding, and corporate branding is about building a strong and cohesive brand identity for the overall company. So even if you have a corporate brand and your brand does soaps, your brand also does creams, your brand also does that, you can also have product branding inside your corporate branding. You see, so corporate branding is about building your general identity, a strong and cohesive, like togetherness. You get togetherness. Your overall company. Coca-Cola company. Let's use them as an example because they are very popular. The company name is Coca-Cola, but they are also producing different drinks. They have Fanta, they have Coke, they have Sprite, they have, I think the ones doing Big Cola. I don't think they are the ones doing it. So, but in that whole different products that they have, their name collectively is Coca-Cola. You get, so you see, so it's even in your brand, you can have different aspects of things that you are doing. Okay, so we don't need to spend much time here. Next slide. All right, then personal branding. Personal branding is basically for entrepreneurs. It involves establishing and promoting an individual's unique identity. All these celebrities, pastors now even have branding. Let me use the latest pastor that I don't know if you know him, Jimmy. Jimmy Odukoya, late Pastor Odukoya's son. If you look at him now, if you follow him on social media, you notice that he has his own logo now. He has a brand as a pastor, and that's actually nice. He has a personal brand as a pastor. So you see, there are personal branding involves establishing and promoting an individual unique identity, expertise, and reputation. It involves focusing on building a personal brand and represent an individual professional skills, values, and personality. Davido is a brand. P Square, they are a brand. That kind of many celebrities fall into these categories. All right. So quickly we'll look at the elements of branding. There are 6 important elements of branding. 6 important elements of branding. Don't forget, branding is everything tangible and intangible that goes into the experience your customers have when they come in contact with your business. So it is every experience, intangible, tangible, that they experience when they come in contact with your business. So we're going to look at the elements of branding, like the fundamentals, those things that make branding what it is. All right, next slide, please. Can you hear me? Are we following?
Yes, we're following.
All right. Don't forget, if you have any questions, you can type.
Hi, Tega, we can't hear anything. You're not saying anything. The second time you're going up like this.
Hello, can anybody hear me?
No, we were not hearing you before. It's just now that we can hear you. So we missed every other thing you were saying.
I was using my headphone, but I've disconnected now. I think that was what was causing that issue. All right. Okay, so I was saying that successful branding begins with a well-defined brand that is relevant to your market. Having a logo, tagline, maybe a business card doesn't really mean that you have completed your branding. Like we said, branding is a continuous process, so it doesn't, even if you complete it, it's always on the go. It's a journey, it's a process, it's continuous, to make sure that you're improving, you are evolving, following trend, following the market, looking at what is working now and what is not working. Following, there was no TikTok before. There was no TikTok, it was just Facebook and Instagram. And now I know many fashion designers are using TikTok. TikTok is like TikTok is like the go-to place for fashion designing now. So you see, it's evolving, and as a fashion designer, you have to evolve. So branding is, like we said, a journey, and there are 6 elements that we need to carefully consider to define your brand. For successful building of your brand, like we said, it's a building. So you lay the foundation, you continue building. The building does not end. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay, so there are 6 elements that we should put, that we must be, that we will put, into careful consideration and crafted intelligently. Those words must be crafted intelligently. It's like preparing for the birth of a child. You plan for the future of the child and strategically follow those plans. You get. So when you notice that, when a mother notices or a girl notices that she's pregnant, they're having a baby, they start going for antenatal care, buying clothes, preparing, those preparations. So you see, so it's like your business is like your baby. Baby. So when you want to deliver, or even for a birthday celebration, if it's your anniversary or something, you want to celebrate it, yeah, processes. So these elements are part of your logo creation process. They are part of the things that designers take into consideration when creating a logo unique for your brand. Now, these elements of branding, they are very important. So I'd really like us to pay very good care attention, because this is the secret of branding. If you can be able to carefully detail these things out to yourself carefully, you'll be successful in your business as a brand. I promise you, you'll be successful as a brand. And we say knowledge is power. So knowing these things is one of the things that gives you a cutting edge in your marketplace out there. So can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so here are the 6 elements of branding. We have brand voice, brand identity, brand promise, brand values, brand target, and brand positioning. We're going to look at them one after the other. One after the other. So we're going to know the differences between all of them and what they do. So we have brand voice, we have brand identity, brand promise, brand values, brand targeting, and brand positioning. So can we go to the next slide, please?
Sorry, can we unmute so that we can hear the person that is talking, please? Thanks.
Okay, can you hear
Yes.
me? Okay, so brand elements are the unique aspect of your brand, like the name, the logo, the color schemes, now that creates a collective recognizable image for your business and extend into everything you create. Brand elements help you stand out from your competitors. Like I said before, this is like the secret of branding. So if you're able to understand this, just pen it down, and then you step by step. After I finish this session, I'm going to use somebody's business, somebody's brand. So I will just show you an example of, or just like going to take a practical. So I'll show you an example of what I mean. Okay, right. So your brand voice is one of those elements of branding. Brand voice is the personality and emotion that you infuse into your business communication. Now, I want us to not forget that we are seeing our business as a personality. Just look at it as a human being. So it has a feeling, it has an emotion, it can feel, it can perceive, it can see. So your business is like a person. So everything that a human being does, that's what your business can eat. Do you get? So I want us to see your brand like that, see your business like that. It has a feeling, it has an emotion that when somebody calls your brand name, the excitement that comes into the person's mind. So that's why most of the times if somebody, maybe a brand that is not really satisfactory, and somebody mention the person's brand, and the client is just those people. No, that's emotion that is communicated. So your brand always communicates an emotion. And people, human beings, generally human beings, or let's say your clients, they relate well with emotions. And that's why most of the times many brands out there, if you look at big brands as a case study, you would notice that their brands are always tied with an emotion. There's always an adjective that they use in communicating their brand. You get? There's always a communication. So that's one of the things that I want us to have in mind. And so without further ado much, let's go drive straight into the elements of branding. Okay, so one of those elements is your brand voice. Brand voice. Just like the way that you speak as a human being, your brand also has a voice. Your business has a voice because it's a personality. But we are looking at it as a personality also. Okay. So your brand voice is the personality and emotion that you infuse into your business communication, that you yourself you infuse into it. And so it helps you to show how real and relatable your brand can be. How real, how real and relatable can my brand be? It displays your values and makes you stand out from your competitors. Now, this is what your customers know and what they love about your brand voice. So, let's use an example now and say I don't want to use Coke. I've used Coke. Let me use something. What did I use? Okay, let me use a skincare. Let me use Nivea. Nivea, Nivea company. We know that they're specialized in deodorants and it's skincare, but they are specialized in deodorants and body lotion. Okay, so I use Nivea deodorants, and now this is my personal experience when I used it. I noticed that when I used other deodorants, I normally have this boil in my armpits. There's this boil that comes out in my armpit when I use any deodorant that's not Nivea. So I now stopped and started using Nivea. So now by the time I'm recommending Nivea to someone else, you see, I'm like, Nivea is very good. It is safe to use. They do not have side effects. Do you understand? That's like now what I'm telling you, that's like me speaking the brand voice, the personality around it. And also I'm telling somebody that they are trustworthy. So you see, you are saying that these people, they are trustworthy. They will not give you these other things that other brand is giving you, in emotions or words, adjectives that are like trustworthy, um, um, good, durable, those kind of adjectives. Now, those are the things that helps your brand voice, so that when somebody is describing you, or when you are describing your brand, you can be able to, pick out 5 things that, five. When let me in designing a logo, there's something we ask clients as designers. We ask them like five um five uniqueness of your brand. We ask them like 5 values that your brand produces. One of them, some will say they have moral values. Some will say they have durability. Those words, those adjectives that describes a human being generally. And so this is your brand voice. It is the personality, the emotion that you infuse into your brand business communication. When somebody mentions your brand, or when you are speaking about it, when you are communicating your brand, the thing that we feel, that's what your brand voice is. The thing that speaks, that my mind just gets excited when your brand is being mentioned. You get, okay, when somebody let's use Davido for example. If somebody is listening to Davido's song now, or they see Davido's advert, the last one I saw, Puma used him to do an advert, and I'm very sure that Puma is going to make sale because it was just a 30 seconds advert of the video wearing a Puma shoe. That was just it. You see, now they have communicated to you that if the video can wear Puma shoe, who are you but not to wear it? Do you get? Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, so that feeling that somebody will be like, see Davido wearing this thing, I must buy this shoe. Do you get that kind of that emotion? That thing. They are saying now. Puma is saying that we are trustworthy. Davido can trust us. You too can trust us. If this celebrity can trust us, you too can trust us. All right. So that's what your brand voice is. The personality and the emotion that you infuse into your business communication. Okay. If there's any question, you can type it in the chat or you can just raise your hand and give your audience to speak. Can we go to the next slide, please?
Ma'am, please, I have a question, please.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, let's say now you want to work on your logo or brand.
Yeah.
Let me put it
Yeah.
that way. So, and let's say you're into agriculture, and you inculcate education. You are also bringing culture and what else that would I call it? And equality. Sorry, culture equality about youth and women. Eradication of poverty now. Will you bring those elements that form the vision on top of the logo, or what exactly will you suggest? As you say, you are a designer, a designer also. That's why I'm asking the question.
There
So
is
what
a
is the best way to represent? Yeah, for
that will not come into your logo. It will come into your brand message, and we'll get there because it's
All right.
part of the elements that make up your branding. Yes.
All right.
All right. Okay. So brand identity is second one. So your brand identity is the part of your business that is recognizable in the eyes of your customers. You know, it is your visual representation, which includes your logo, your color palettes, your the way you represent your business, on social media and every other place. So your brand identity is just basically packaging and every other tangible aspect of your brand that somebody can see. So it is the part of your business that is recognizable in the eyes of your customers. That's where your logo now comes in. Your visual representation, your color palettes, choosing your color palettes, and all that. That's basically what your brand identity is. So the part where logo comes in is where you are now in this process of creating your brand identity. Okay, that's where your logo now comes in. Now, if you look at this slide, you would see that these colors here, these are my brand colors. Okay, the colors that I used to design these slides, they are my brand colors. All right, so that's part of my brand identity. So if somebody sees this anywhere, they just know that these brands, I've seen it somewhere. If you see it somewhere, you'll be like, I've seen this color somewhere. To draw, you now check and say, okay, this is her. Now, that's where graphic design now comes in, or designing. That's where it comes in, your brand identity, where you are now developing your identity. When you give birth to a child, you now have to name the child. You give the child a name and all of that. So that's where your brand identity comes in. Then we have brand promise. Your brand promise is all about how you clearly communicate the unique values that your business provides your customers with. So it includes your vision and mission statements, the expectation that we would do that thing that makes your client accountable, makes you accountable to your clients or your customers. That's what your brand promise is. That's the more consistent your business actions are with your brand promise, the more trust and loyalty you will cultivate. So basically, your brand promise is that um that delivery that you are saying you are giving in your brand. Okay, can somebody should just type the name of your business. The name of your business. Let's use this as an example. You can just type the name of your business in the chat. Anybody. So I'm just going to ask some questions and use it to look at what this brand promise really is. Okay, Gosie's fashion. All right, Gosie's fashion. Ugochi, please, can you unmute your mic for me?
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So now let's assume that I'm a client and I want to use your services. So I'm going to ask you some questions. Then you're going to reply me. Is that okay?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Now looking at brand promise, because it's fashion. Now let me ask a very general question. So you hear some people say something like, so what is the promise? What makes you different from other people? So why should I use you? Why should I? From the look of your name, you're a luxury brand, right? Like fashion.
Yeah, I'm a fashion designer.
Okay,
Designer.
if you want to go more professional, we call
I'm a
it
fashion
luxury.
designer.
Yes. If you want to go more professional, we will not call it luxury brand. When you want to add more packaging inside. Okay. So now, if I want to make a cloth with you now, why should I trust you? And we know that there are a lot of disappointment with fashion designers out there.
Okay. One.
Especially in this season. So what is the guarantee that why should I
Yes. One of the things
yes.
that make me stand out is my integrity, my ability to deliver as a friend you. If I give you a assignment or you give me a time that I should deliver your wares, I try as much as possible to deliver within that time. But in a situation where it was beyond my control, I always call ahead of time to tell you that there is something coming up and it may not be at the exact time we agreed on. I'll tell you beforehand. So it will not look as though I did not carry the person along. At the end of the day, we'll start having issues. I try communicating. I do effective communication with my clients. If there's a change of, so maybe because of the material was not available, I still communicate. So this and my ability to deliver, if I tell you that I will deliver at a time, no matter what it takes, I will try my possible best to deliver as much when we agreed on. The two are excellent points here. Effective communication and on-time delivery.
That's now this that she just said is basically her delivering her brand promise. That's just it. Now, one of the things she said is quick delivery and prompt delivery, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you see, your brand promise is, the is around the satisfactory aspect of your branding. Now, many of us know that it's general. In fact, there are many memes out there that fashion designers this Christmas, that in fact, I saw one funny one recently, and it was so funny. And it's quite relatable, Now you see, Gosie's fashion now, one of their brand promises is that they are prompt and they deliver you with the best, right? Okay, so this is what is basically just leave the big name. It's that convincing. Most of the times, you have to convince somebody to do your business, to patronize you or work with you in doing something. Now, that process of convincing that person, the things you say when you are trying to convince that person, that's what your brand promise is. And also, because we are trying to add a little packaging and professionalism to this entrepreneurship, we now have to now have certain ways of communicating those things so that by the time you package those things now, somebody will now look at you different from the other tailor or the other person, because it looks like you know your onion. Meanwhile, it's just little dotting I's and T, crossing your T's that you did to just catch that person. Right. So do you understand it? Are we following?
Yes, ma.
All right.
Yes,
So
ma.
basically, yes. Okay. Okay. All right. So basically, that's just it. All this brand identity, brand this, the thing that it makes you, in fact, one of the reasons why it's very necessary. And now that we have a world of social media, marketing is largely on social media now. The marketplace is largely on social media. It's not like it's just there, but it's largely on social media. And they need to see something they can trust. You know, since it's online, we normally have what I ordered versus what I got. So people need to be satisfied with, and that's most of the reasons why, if you look at so many people on their social media pages, you see them post their client testimonials, you see them post referrals and all that. Now, it's not because they want to boast or brag, it's because they want to satisfy new people that are coming, so that by the time people look at those things, they'll be like, okay, let me just try them out and see. And by the time they are trying them out, and they can now refer others. Right. So basically, that's just what your brand is. So we have looked at brand voice, brand identity, brand promise. Can we go to the next slide, please? All right. So the next one is brand value. Um, Your brand values are basically the guiding principles that beliefs that your business stands for. Okay, so it helps you to display how relatable and real that your brand can be. One of the things that we have been talking about since we started the class is value, value, satisfaction, satisfaction. That's what branding is all about, satisfaction. Okay, so your brand value is very much closely related to. So just give me a moment, please. Can you just give me like 2 minutes? Let me just attend to something. All right. So your brand value is your brand values are the guiding principles and belief that your business stands for. There are things like integrity, there are things like honesty, there are things like morals, those morals that your brand stands for. We are trustworthy, we will not swindle you, we have integrity, we are empathic, we 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 put our legs inside the shoes of our customers and we deliver them with the need that those values, they are what should guide every action that you take. Every action that you take should have values as a business owner. You should have values as a business. Your brand should have values as a business owner. Please take note that your brand should have value. Your brand should have value. You should have them rating out that these are my 5 core values as a business owner. These are my 5 core values for my business. And so those are the things that will guide you so that if you face any challenge in on the long run, those values are what is going to guide you, they're what is going to help you to and help your people around you, even in connecting with your target audience. You'll be able to meet because people you are most likely to deliver your services or goods to people that are compatible with you, with your brand. And by that compatibility, I mean values. When the values are the same, when the people you share the same values with, people you share the same, for example, if you are a, okay, let's still use Go See Fashion, for example, you know, a cloth brand, a luxury brand and meet somebody that likes deadline, somebody that likes meeting targets, somebody that likes doing this, Now, me as a luxury brand, Go See Fashion is now saying that we are prompt with our delivery, and the person is telling you this, and you match that person's delivery. You get so it's like your your brand values is one of the things that is going to even help you in your marketing because it's going to show you how compatible you are with your target audience because you have a different target audience. Your audiences are not the same. Every business has its own, even if you have a business that has different branches, those different branches have their different audiences. And as they have their different audiences, that's how they have their different um, their different their different values you get, right? So do you understand? Do you understand so far?
Yes, Ma.
Is it making sense?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, yes, of course.
Is there any question? Is there any question so far?
Yeah, sorry. Good afternoon. I have a question.
All right, please do.
Okay, my name is my company name is Mike Odumosu Ventures. But what I want to ask is that I use it for events and a dry cleaner. Like I want to ask that how can I differentiate it? Like instead of me just using it at once. I use it for events. I also use it for dry cleaner. But when I want to register the company, I didn't just say Mike Odumosu Ventures Dry Cleaner. I differentiate it. I didn't just tag a laundry to it or event. But what I really want to ask, how can I really differentiate it? Like when people see the logo and see the color, they can see relate it back to my name. That's what I want to ask.
Now, that is, when we looked at types of branding, we saw product branding, personal branding, and corporate branding. Now, I think the type of branding that you should use for your name is generally, you have a laundry side and a,
Event.
an event side, okay. But you have one name, right?
Yeah, one name.
Okay. So basically, you'd have one logo, right?
Yeah, one logo now.
Okay. Your Now see, this is how you differentiate it. Your brand on its own needs to, or your visual identity and everything means constant. Do you understand? For the two sides.
No, I don't understand.
Okay. Now you have to employ corporate branding. And then inside your corporate branding, in the list of your services. Now, this is what we do. What do we do as so and so ventures? Do you get? We have a
Yeah.
laundry service. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's how so that it can help you to push the two sides together, and then
Oh,
it can help you not leave anyone lacking behind. So it's better for you to have one because it's most likely in the future that you'd put in another service. Do you understand? Because we are
yes,
giving
ma'am.
room most likely a tendency of you adding another service or another product or another thing to your branding. So it will be hard if you have them in different. This is different business on its own. This is different business on its own. Do you understand? It will be hard to manage them generally. So it's better when you have one umbrella that have different services, so that when somebody comes to you, and maybe somebody comes to do let's it's even intertwined. Somebody comes to do maybe an event and say, can you you are organizing this event for some way, somehow, you can now introduce your laundry in it. Do you understand? Like in it, in your event, your laundry can be a service in your event planning. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like you see, part of our services as an event planner is that we can also, do your laundry, like can you hear me?
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know if you understand, but I'm like the person that asked the question, I'm trying to respond. So I don't know if you can give me your feedback so that I can know that you understand what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, let me just answer the question. So either ways, he can still add his you can still add your laundry business as a service in the event. There are ways to do these things, even in your content creation and all that. There are still ways that you can add. You can combine these two things together to make them work instead of having them in different.
Can you help me out maybe after the class too? Can you help us to brand the complaint logo and help us to do all this? Then we'll pay for it.
Yes, that's possible. That's possible. You can
Okay,
just
no, Wala. Maybe after the class we'll talk then.
yes, just ask you a few questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I think we're past here. We are looking at brand identity. Let me see. I think we'll go on a break now and come back by 12 so that we'll just run down through. Okay. That's by identifying the characteristics of your target customers. So it includes age, geographic location, income level.
Can you increase your volume? We can't hear you well.
etc. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Yes, I know.
Is it better now?
You can. It was better before.
Let's see. Okay. All right. So,
Yes, fine. Thank you.
for example, if you want to looking at brand targeting, you want to run an ad, or I think you should just try it out. You want to run an ad, basically. If you check your Facebook or anything, your ad manager, you'd see a place for geographic location. That place for yes, for targeting, like audience rather, not location. For audience, brand audience, your target audience. That place they have different segments like you choose your age, the geographic location you want to reach, Lagos, Abuja, Kenya, whatever. that you want your ads to get to. Income level, no, there's no income level. Basically, and then male or female, the gender. That's also another segment for the brand, for the running of ads. And so your brand targeting is like your audience, the people that you want to reach, the people that your business is about. So that's one of the elements of branding, just basically the segment of markets that you want to reach. People. Is it for entrepreneurs like people? My own brand is largely focused on entrepreneurs. Yes, I'm largely focused on entrepreneurs and small scale businesses. That is where my own, although I have, but largely it's targeted there. But there are times where it changes, but basically it's targeted on. So basically, you have to know your brand targeting. Depends on the kind of brand and that you want to have, the kind of brand you want to have, and the thing that you do. If you are a female fashion designer, most definitely your audience are females. And even as they are women, which category of women? Is it from 20 to 30? Are they teenagers or children? Are they babies? You need to have a target, a segment. What class of people are you meeting?
Hello, ma. We can barely hear you here. The voice is somehow low.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you
Yes,
now,
it's
but
better
we're
now.
hearing you.
Yes, we can hear you now. Okay, can you hear me now? So that means I have to basically say what I just said. I have to
Yes.
repeat everything. Okay, it's okay. I was talking about brand targeting.
Yeah,
So
it's
I was
better
saying that brand
now. It's
targeting.
better now.
Okay, brand targeting is you
Yes, we can hear you.
making decisions and determining what segment of market you want to reach by identifying the characteristics of your target customers, of your target customer. So the segment of market that you want to reach, it includes the age, the location, the income level, and the business sector. So I was saying that if you check on your Facebook or your Instagram, you want to run an ad, there's a place that is segmented as what is it called? Audience. Yes, audience. Now in that place you see age, you see gender, and then you see location. Now that provision is there so that you can be able to target the people that you want to meet, so that the people that will be seeing your ad are people that need the ad. It's not like running a general ad. That's why running of ad is very strategic and not everybody that can do it. Okay. So, and I also said that as a fashion designer and you make only female clothes, you still also have to determine the age of the people. Is it for teenagers? Is it for older women between 60 to 100? Is it for young ladies between 25 to 50? You get just like that. Is it for babies? Is it children wears? So that's just you targeting your, it's like narrowing down your niche, having your niche. That's just basically what brand targeting is, which is very, very important in building your brand. Okay. Do you understand? Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So to the
Yes,
next
ma'am.
slide. Yeah. brand positioning, which is the last, and then you can ask your questions regarding these elements of branding in case you do not get any parts. Okay. So elements of branding, we're looking at brand positioning. We've looked at brand voice, brand identity, brand values, brand targeting, brand. Now we're looking at brand positioning. So brand positioning refers to the place where your market stands in the eyes of the customers. It's just like the word says, position. Like, where are you, on the left, on the right, in the middle, or yes, that's what position is. Okay, so it includes how your brand is different from your industry competitors. Okay, so it takes targeting a step further and involves strategizing your marketing efforts to ensure that your tactics are most effective in reaching the targeted market segment. Basically, this is what this is saying. It is also like cultivating a brand voice that will help you stand out in the busy marketplace. So it's just like you looking at your competitor, study them, and then you now say, okay, this is where they are. Now I want to be better than them. Or I want to have, okay, this is what they don't have that I want to have. You know, just declaring your position. That it's just like targeting also. It takes you a bit further. Like, okay, this brand is a fashion brand. They are focused on creating children wears. Now, me, I'm also a fashion brand. I want to be focused on creating children wears and wears for their mothers. So if I create for the child, I also create the same thing for the mother. So it's like an added advantage to you. And many mothers would love to see their child dressed, looking the same way. So do you understand? So it's almost like brand positioning is just you. It's more intentional, becoming more intentional about your targeting, going an extra mile to put your brand in a place where it is solid. Your brand voice is also means cultivating your brand voice and, you know, being unique. That this is the brand, this is the only brand that makes children wears and make for their mom, or make for moms and their daughters. So your brand can be about, your fashion brand can be about your mom and daughter, or bonding, or something about love around motherhood and childhood, about mothers and daughters. Yes. So that's it. So is there any question so far from basically from everything that we have said from the beginning till now? You can ask a question so we can tackle before we move further into the next session.
Yeah, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you.
This Uzo Ekene Darlington.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to ask all this you've mentioned so far. For we to have a business profile, that means we must put all this in consideration.
Yes.
That means there are important key elements we must have in order for us to go far in the business industry. I just want to specify that.
Yes. For you to have a place right now in the market, to be recognized as one of the,
Okay.
yes, you should have
Okay.
them.
Thank you.
It's going to help you to narrow down your achievements as a business. Because as a brand, I'm sure that everybody has a goal that they want to reach, right? Everybody has inspiration, has aspirations, they have vision for their business. You have a vision for your business. This is where I want to get. I want to come to the place where I'm delivering, I'm working, having others there. And one of the ways to do that is on social media. And for
We
you to
can't hear
come,
you well.
Can anybody else hear me?
It's
Yes, we can
better
hear
now.
you actually, but your voice is kind of going down and coming up. So some
Yes,
places we are not getting you exactly
now
what you're saying.
what you're saying.
It should be the internet, or it should be internet connection, because I don't know, but anyhow, I'm still going to, but it's fine, it's fine. Okay, so I was saying that the reason why branding is important and necessary is that right now the market is largely on social media. So it's important for you to have a brand, because people will not take you serious. People will hardly take your brand seriously if there is no, and see, this thing is not it's not really hard per se. I've seen so many people online, and that's one of the reasons why Canva is there, in case you want to do a small design or something as an entrepreneur. And that's why, in fact, every entrepreneur must have a basic knowledge of the basic principles of graphic design, so that you can do your things yourself, till you get to the level where you can pay somebody to start doing it for you. You are too busy, you don't need them, you come out with. You need to also have a knowledge of graphic design. So I was saying that it's important because people will not really take your brand seriously if they come on your page and they do not see some level of consistency on it. And that can only be done by branding. Okay. They see your brand value, brand targets, everything. They see your intentionality, your consistency, your force by your branding. Okay. So that's what I was saying. I don't know if you get me. You heard me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we do.
Okay, is there any other question?
I have a question, please.
All right, please.
When you were explaining the brand promise, my network was totally messed up. So I was locked out
Should
of
I
the
go back again?
Yes, just a brief recap on that brand promise.
I was just saying that brand promise is just basically how clearly you communicate the uniqueness of your values. And I use somebody's brand as an example. Her brand name is Boosie Fashion. So I now asked her that normal question that people ask when they want to do business with you. Why should I trust you? Why should I do business with you? Why should I trust you? Now, having in mind that normally it is a normal thing for tailors to disappoint in Nigeria, right? So we all know that there are people that, and that's like a cutting edge for people that. So she now gave her promises that, well, she can do business with me. I should trust her because she is prompt, she's good at what she does, her stitches are neat, that kind of thing. So all those promises that you make, basically trying to convince somebody to do business with you, to patronize you, to work with you, that's what your brand promise is. The convincing, that I am trustworthy, I have integrity. If it's a travel agency, and somebody has Japa plans and it's like, why should I trust you? Why will I not believe that you will run away with my money? I'll be like, no, I have integrity, I'm trustworthy. Look at this person I did for this person, is now in America,
Short
having
mention
been
communication.
client testimonials and all that and all that. Okay. So that's what your brand promise is. The convincing part of satisfaction. Everything that you do to provide that satisfaction, that I will go out of my way, I can do it overnight. Not to be over promising, then you not come on. So do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is there any other question? Any other question? Let me check the chat. Right. So let's proceed. Why brand? What is the importance of branding? The reason why we have been talking branding. Why is it important? Why do I even need to brand? I want to look at the importance of brand. Right. So branding is important because it helps your business to stand out from your competitors, and it will help you make a lasting impression on your customers. It's very important because it will help you, it help your business stand out from your competitors and gives you a very lasting impression. And if you're meeting somebody for the first time, it is very important to impress them. And they say first impression matters, right? We all know that saying that first impression matters. So it is very important because that's one of the things. It gives your business a unique identity. It will help you to build trust with your audience. A strong brand helps customers to recognize and remember your business. It also leads to customer loyalty. Yes, and they will have a repetition of, they always keep coming back. They always keep coming back. They always keep coming back. They are coming back because they are getting the value that they need. And that's why branding is important, because it helps you to pick out those values and narrow it down to be able to satisfy your customers. And if somebody is satisfied, the person keeps coming back, and not just coming back alone once in a while, can also see somebody that needs that service. It can also refer them to that to your company, So it's very important. It's essential for long-term success and growth. Long-term branding is very important for long-term success and growth. It helps you build. Branding is about building, and it helps you build a positive reputation. See, it's a continuous process. So as you go, you build. It's not. It takes time, but it is worth the long run. It takes time, but worth the long run, because by the time you hit a benchmark, you get to a point where, in fact, even if you notice that some brands that got to a point, I'm sure that even if I cannot remember anyone now, but there are some brands that got to a point of consistent patronage, and because they got satisfied, they now started degrading in their value production, and they became, they started losing their customers. Yes, I remember one biscuit called Milk Power. Milk Power biscuits is a very good biscuit that I like. I used to buy the carton that time. Milk Power now went to rebrand. When they rebranded, they reduced the quantity of the biscuits and increased the price. Nobody bought it. In fact, they lost customers until they went to rebrand, came back again and started putting 6 packs inside. They added more inside. They now made it 15 naira or something. I cannot really remember what they now started. So that's it. Because people were we used to buy Milk Power, used to drink garri, used to do a lot of things. But by the time we started buying it for higher amount and then got the different thing, we just lost interest until they went to go and increase it. That's people for you. Okay, so branding is very important because it helps it is not a one-time thing. It's a continuous process. As long as you have a business plan and you want your business to grow, you must have a branding plan also. You must keep everything you do should be based or anchored on who you want your brand to be. And by that, you should be journeying. And that journey is what your branding is doing. So that's why it's very, very important. It is key in making your business memorable and trustworthy and successful. Branding is key, very key. You know, look at the banks we have out there. There are so many things that they say of them. So many things, so many things. They say if you go to GT Bank, that GT Bank, they are slow in attending to customers. Another bank, they will say their USSD is not working very well. This other one, they will say, okay, these people, they are good, they are this, they are that. And so all those things make people, just, it's, if you think about it, it's a normal everyday thing. And they are very pivotal in causing your business growth. Very, very key. So that's why brand is important. So let's look at brand strategy. Brand strategy. So your brand strategy refers to the long-term plan and approach that guides the development and management of a brand. The long-term plan and approach that guides the development and management of your brand. It involves making strategic decisions to create a strong and differentiated brand identity, effectively communicate with the target audience and achieve business goals. One of these is your social
People
media
talk to you
presence.
talk. I was asking, what did you say?
One of these is your social media presence, your presence on social media, your content creation, the things you post. Right now, there are different types of content creation. There are educative posts. Once in a while, you do educative. Once in a while, you show them who you are as a brand, just show them the face of the brand, to make people trust you. When people love that kind of content, contents that do well, are even more contents that have person's face in it. Okay, so brand strategy is just the long-term approach that guides the development and management of your brand. The development, that's why it's good to have a social media content calendar. If you want to post 2 or 3 times a day, you have a calendar that, okay, today I'm going to post this, I'm going to post that. It's going to help you. This is all part of your brand strategy. In the end goal is satisfying customers, giving them value for what you are offering them and what they are buying from you. Okay, so, and brand strategy encompasses several important components, which includes your brand positioning. That's defining how you want your brand to be perceived in relation to your competitors. Okay, as a photography brand, how do I want people to see me different from the people that are in the same line of business with me? How do I want people to look at me differently from this other person? So that's one of the ways, that's one other way of, and that's one of the components rather of brand strategy. It involves identifying your unique value proposition, that's your target audience, and the key points of differentiation. Notice key points of differentiation. No matter how, that's why we say that the word unique have been used in this class a lot, and because no matter how rampant, or no matter the amount of fashion designers we have in this world, there is always uniqueness within them. There is always a uniqueness. There's always one thing that makes you stand out from the rest of them. There's always one thing. It's either maybe you have your stitches are always neat, or I don't know, but one thing, one particular thing, the key difference, coming down to look at it, look at your own side and checking what exactly is making me, what will make me stand out. That thing that will make you stand out from your competitors. That's one of the components of brand strategy. Number two is your target audience. Very important, because understanding and defining the specific group of people who is most likely to be interested in the benefits of your product and service. It includes demographic, that's like location, psychographic, that's mindset, then behavioral characteristics also. So looking at, like I said before, compatible people that are compatible with your business, people that use it, people that are more likely to patronize you. That's one of the things too. If you understand these things, you'll be able to even run your ads by yourself and make profit. Yes, if you really understand, if you know it about your brand, not just as a general, not just knowing it up, but if you know it about your brand, if you know your positioning as a brand, you know your audience as a brand, it will help you to be able to strategically meet your clients or your customers at the point of their need. And do you understand? Is there any questions so far? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yes.
Is there any questions so far? I feel like I'm too fast.
No, you're not fast. You're getting it.
Okay. Right. Please let me know at any point that you did not grab or anything. So I'm just giving room because I want everybody to understand. So is there any question? Is everybody following?
I'm following.
Okay, so we can proceed.
Hold on.
Can we go on? Can we proceed?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
All right. Okay. The third one is your brand identity. Developing a cohesive and compelling brand identity that encompasses visual elements. Leave all this grammar. What we are saying is logo, colors, typography, verbal elements such as your motto, taglines, messaging, overall your brand personality, how you, if you have a designer or you design, how you present your brand guideline. Yes, your brand guideline is okay. It's also another thing, but it's largely a part of graphic designing, and so, but it's very important for every business. Your brand style guide. That's how your visual representation, how your brand, if your brand colors are white and black, let's say that your logo has a mixture of white and black, and you see these normal carousels on Instagram. And so some days you can decide to do black background and a white color, and then decide that your logo is on the left side. Your logo is always on the left side. That's also a part of consistency. So this is also another thing for brand strategy. That thing. So people, their logo is always on the middle. So people, their logo is on the right side and is always on the right side. Some persons can use their logo white, black, just those basic representation of visual representation, how we see it, that shows consistency. that shows consistency. Your logo, your color palette. If red is not part of your design of your logo or your brand color, don't ever use red. Don't try it. If black is not part of it, don't use it. If white is not part of it, don't use it. If green is not part of it, don't use it. Those things just help you have an informed kind of discipline that people look at and they are like, well, they're impressed and they want to try out your product or your service. Okay, so the fourth one is brand messaging. Brand messaging, crafting out your message. That what is your brand about? That communicates your brand unique values and benefits and story to your target audience. Okay, so it includes developing key messages and narratives that resonate with your audience and align with your brand position. So everything is intertwined, everything is connected. Everything is connected. People must be able to make sense of what you are saying. People, I can relate, I can relate. You see, most times copywriters they tend to go through the long they tend to get people through stories, short copies, story writing. Be like, they'll not be like, I used to write for so time. Okay, I saw one recently. They said my CGPA moved from this to this because of the advertising an audio app that people used to study. And so the story was like my CGPA moved from 1.2 to 3.5 from just using this app. So that's like a story you get. So messaging and all that, casting out a clear and consistent messaging. This is also going to help you in your content creation process. Your messaging, your brand message, yes, it's going to help in your content creation. So developing key message and narrative that resonates with your audience. That's when you say it, people can, I can relate with this thing. This thing happened to me one time, that kind of thing. Showing them that you can help them by showing them the problem, not just the problem, but also emphasizing on the solution of the problem. So you can just show them the problem, highlight it, but then spend more time talking about the solution to the problem and convincing them. Everything is intertwined. Okay, so the fifth one is brand communication. Brand communication channels. Brand communication channels. Determining the most effective channels and platform to reach and engage your target audience. There are some businesses that you don't have anything to do on Twitter. No. What are you going on Twitter to do? Because Twitter is more of an official, more of an official space. It's more for corporate brands and all. So, and it's very, I don't, in fact, that Twitter safe. I don't want to shade it, but well, people still use it. Okay, so look at the channels that you need to be on. Do I need to be on TikTok? Do I need to be on Messenger? Do I need to be on Facebook? Do I need to be on WhatsApp? Like that. So look at the channels that you need to be on, and then don't, and also producing the right messages there. If you are on Twitter, you need to know how to communicate like the Twitter people. If you're on Instagram, you need to know how to communicate like the Instagram people. If you are on LinkedIn, you need to know how to communicate like the LinkedIn people. If you are on Facebook, you need to know how to communicate like the Facebook people. You get, even if you're on all the channels, if you think that it is necessary to be on all the communication channels, it is very important to know how they communicate and how to pass messages there. How people, LinkedIn is more of a formal platform for job owners, businesses, and all. So it's more for what you post on Instagram and on LinkedIn cannot be the same. You get, how you communicate on LinkedIn and how you communicate on Instagram cannot be the same because the audiences there are different. You get, so everything has to be strategic in reaching out the particular audience that you want. You have noticed that you have a specific kind of audience that you want to reach out to. and those people are in all the channels. If, for example, those people are in all the channels, but the mode of communication is going to be different because their mindset will be different. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Do you get? Hello, can anybody hear me? Are you following?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we
All
are.
right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So all right. So your advertising, your marketing, in the language and other communication channels, even if you are all, there's no harm being on all the platforms. But when you're all on all the platforms, you also have it in mind that there are different ways of communicating on all the platforms. Okay. All right, so let's move to the next one. It is brand monitoring and adaptation. This is a very important step, continually evaluating the performance and perception of your brand. For example, yes, of generally your post, your social media post, your customer feedback, your database, you get everything, your relationship, your working relationship with your clients, have the monitoring and adapting. It allows you to make data-driven decisions. By the time you look at, for example, let's look at social media posts, for example. If you post a particular thing and at a particular time, and you notice that you did it once, twice, and the outcome that you got of it is greater than what you have been doing before, it's advisable to consistently keep on doing that. Because now this part is going to help you remain consistent, remain relevant, and resonant with your target audience. If you notice that these people, they like this kind of content, or this kind of content, wow, this thing brought me five new clients from Instagram. This thing brought me somebody recommended me because of this dress, this design, this, that. Once you notice that a particular thing that you did is getting an appraisal, it is good to evaluate. Now, not just when one is getting you an appraisal, but generally after 6 months, after 7 months, after 3 months, you can decide to do it 3 monthly, you can decide to do it by 6 months, you can decide to do it by 5 months. It depends. You come down, look at your productivity, look at how you have been able to reach your customers, look at how well you have grown from this level to this level. Okay. And also your personal growth is very important in your branding, because if, like, I don't know why we are using fashion designing, maybe because it's very relatable, but let me use it again. If as a fashion designer in 3 months you are making 3 clothes, okay, let's say you made 3 clothes in a week. After three months, you check back and you're making 2 clothes in a week. You stop and then you check that, okay, what happened? Why did I go down in production? Is it the sale of business? Is it my attitude? Because yes, you have to check all those things because they are very important. Is it the way I was speaking to clients this month? Is it why was there a decrease in sales, if there was, and why was there an increase in sales? Because there is going to be. So you have to take note of those things, look at the things that were not working and throw them away, look at the things that are working and keep doing them. Okay, so that's why it is building. If a particular stone does not fit, it's just like building bricks. That this children game, building bricks, that you have to fit bricks in together. Anyone that does not fit, you take it out and look for the one that fits and then put it in. It's just like that. You see, so a well-defined brand strategy guides all aspects of brand development, communication and growth. Communication is also very important in branding. It's very important. It's like the life wire of your brand. Okay, it provides a roadmap for effectively positioning your brand in the marketplace. And see, even as an entrepreneur, because we all have the vision or the aspiration that we're going to get to a point where we are going to employ people and more people, it is good to put these things into consideration now so that it becomes a part of you and a part of your brand. Is not so that when you grow, you can be able to still monitor your progress. So it's better to start now and then be going, as you are going, you are progressing. Because when you become large and you don't have this structure set in place, it's going to be hard to start setting those structures at a very from the climax of your business, because you'll be very busy and may not be able to take note of certain little things. And that kind of thing can help. I was listening to somebody yesterday on Instagram. I just saw this reel and I started to listen to her. She was just talking about how she used to take inventory of her business and how the business closed down and what happened to the business and why it closed down, all those kind of things. And one of the reasons was because she didn't pay attention to these things that we are talking about now. She didn't pay attention to these things that we're talking about now. Right. So have your business objective, write down your goals, let them become part of you, so that it's going to inform all your actions. It's going to inform everything that you do, so that it will help you to smoothly run your business and check the progress of your business to know where there is where there is lapses and how to cover those things. Right. Okay. So are we following? I hope we're following. Are we following? Is there any questions so far? Is there any question? Are you understanding? Is it making sense? Does it make sense?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we understanding.
All right. I just need to get your feedback so that I'll know that I'm not just talking to myself here. Okay.
You understand
We are
the
with you,
direct.
man. Just that the branding is
We are
very
with
deep.
you.
In fact, the branding.
The what?
I said
So
this
the
branding is
branding
like
is very deep.
something for marketing product. Yes.
See, it's not. Yeah, it sounds like it's a big deal, right? But see, that's why I said it's a journey. It's a step-by-step process, It's a step-by-step process. And how you start it is by the elements of branding. You bring it to yourself. Now you know that there is a brand voice. My brand is supposed to have a voice. So what voice am I practically now? What is my brand voice? What is my brand positioning? What is my brand? Yes? So is somebody saying something? Okay. So learning these things is now you putting them to practice. How do you put them to practice? It's bringing it down now to your own brand. Okay. Somebody just put your business name on the charts. Let's use it as an example. Anybody, just put your business name on the chart quickly. Let's just use it as an example. Okay, the Beleza brand. Okay, Bukolami, right? Bukolami, please, can you unmute your mic?
My name is Bukolami.
Bukolami, okay, Bukolami. Okay, all right. Okay, so what's the name of your business or your brand?
Yeah, the name is the Beliza brand. That's
Okay.
actual name of
Who is the Beliza brand? What do you do?
Beliza brand is a company that basically does design, print, and aspects of branding service for individuals and for small businesses and corporate organizations. So we brand on products, we brand on publicity materials such as clothing, car flags, flyers, caps, mugs. We also brand on gift items as well, like personalized gifts and souvenirs.
Okay. Is it related to printing?
Yes, yes, very much related to.
All right. All right.
We create the designs as well as handle the printing on those things for those companies, individuals as well.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you, you're saying that you're a creative agency, right?
Yes.
Okay. A creative agency that also does printing, that okay, basically, let's say you specifically deal on printing and also creating monogramming, right? Do you
Yes,
also do?
we create designs with printing as well.
All right. Okay. So now, from we're going to look at the 6 elements of branding with your brand. So the only one that I'm not sure be would be um, would be feasible for us to see now would be the identity part, because we would not be able to see your logo and all of that. So okay, so you know that brand voice now is like the emotion that your business communicates with, something real and relatable that somebody can feel about your business. Okay, so the what is as a business? Do you understand the question?
I didn't hear you, so it's a bit the audio was kind of mumbled.
Okay. I said, now we looked at the 6 elements of branding, and only the brand identity, we're not going to use the brand identity because it's almost like creation of logo and all of that. Okay, so, but the remaining 5, I want us to just test run it on your business to just, now it will also help you to get a clearer picture. So, brand voice. Now, we know that brand voice is about the emotion that your business is tied to. Like the feeling, how real and relatable that your brand can be. So, as a business and as a brand, what can you say is your brand voice? Like, don't worry, it's not a hard question. You can just say, we provide satisfaction. What is that feeling? What is that feeling that your customers can get or will get if we do business with you? Do you understand?
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So
Okay, so
with
the
belief
brand.
and we. Okay, can I answer?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, so we create very unique designs for our customers, and we are always delivering very high quality products for them. We pride ourselves with dealing in very high quality products. So whenever the customer sees a design from us, it's usually very creative, something that can attract people's attention. And when you check out the quality of products that we deal in, we use very high quality products. And apart from that, we are also very particular about how we deliver our customer service, like the mode and the mode of our communication with our customers. We make sure that our customers are satisfied and they always have a reason to come back and refer others to us.
See, in this few minutes that I have spoken, you have you have said everything concerning the 6 elements of branding. Now, I was able to pick out 16 of them. Now, okay, but I don't want to say it. I want it to be interactive so that everybody's going to understand. Okay, now, so I was able to pick out 5 brand values from what you said now. Okay, so can you tell us your brand values? They are still not far from what you said. Okay, let me say like three core values for your brand, like 3 core values that you know that if a job comes now, if you do a job and those things are not, you just say, because of the absence of this thing or this thing, this is not a good job. Okay, so can you just tell us like 3 core values like that guides your brand?
Okay, so based on what I understand about the core values and also your teachings today during the class, I would say one of the core values guides my brand is integrity, because I believe so much in integrity. The way people perceive you or perceive your brand, if you're someone that can be someone that someone can do business with, someone, and like integrity also speaks about the part of being trustworthy. You understand? When your customers know that when they deal with you, they can be assured that they're getting something good from you. You're not going to scam them. You're not going to give them substandard products. So integrity still covers that part of being trustworthy and also very empathic.
Okay.
I believe in this when it comes to business. There's something about being able to relate with what your customer wants. Even when you're trying to deliver and your customer is not being satisfied, not just trying to like impose your own on them, trying to understand their point of view and trying to meet them. So even if you have something better as an idea or you have a better suggestion, presenting it in a way that the customer can relate with, not making the customer feel like you're totally trying to change what they want you to do for them, meeting them halfway. So I'm very, very clear. Then, okay, I already said honesty, and then you said I should mention 3. I've mentioned 3 already.
Okay, all right.
Let me mention more.
And see, empathy is very important in your line of work because, for example, somebody comes to you to create a design, you have to know what is in that person's mind.
Yeah.
So it's also, and another, some other values that I was able to pick from your first statement when you said one of them is excellence, that's high quality designs. So it's one of them, one of your brand values, and you can also say you will get this high quality design, and I'm sure that it is affordable, right?
Yeah.
So affordability is one of the things that should accompany every brand. Every brand should have. Don't leave it out because that's what people want to hear. That can I afford you? After you make all these promises and tell me all these things, can I still afford you? So it's one of the values that should be inculcated in your brand. So I'd be like, you will get this thing at a very reasonable, affordable price, but you still get it as excellent as you want it. See, so that's one of the things that people want to hear, people want to know, people want to feel that they can trust you. If I pay you my money, would I? Do you get? All right. So I think let me just use one more and then we can proceed to the next. I talked about. Okay, positioning now. Who would you say are your target audience?
My target audience basically it cuts across a wide range of let me say wide range of the market anyways. So like basically
let me just change the language. Something very easy. Who can use your services?
Yeah, I was about answering that. Thank you. So schools, religious organizations like churches, mosques, small and medium scale businesses, private organizations, individuals,
All right,
students on campuses, and yeah, even government bodies.
So you see, it's very, very important. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes. All right. So guys, can you now see that it is very, very practical? Are we following? Are we following?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so it is very, very practical. So knowing these things, I would suggest that every business owner or every entrepreneur here should just write down these things in a PDF file or somewhere, save it on your Google Drive. Once in a while, go over it, look at it. Look at it. Even scripture says that write the vision, make it plain that he may run that reads it. Go over it again, look at it. When you look at it, sometimes you get so busy that you forget the main reason why you even started in the first place. Okay, let me still ask you one more question. Like, what is your message? What can you say is your brand message? Why is your brand your brand? What is your message? Bukolami, sorry, the question is for you, for your brand. So what can you say is your story, your brand message? Are you on the line? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, let me use all right, let me use myself as an example now. What is my brand story, my brand message? I was in an interview and they asked me this question. And see, the truth is there is no sugarcoating anything. People want to know that they can trust you, they can relate it. It's good if your message is very, real, very true. And so this is my own brand message. This is my story, how I became a graphic designer, and then I started growing into other things. Okay, so it started from church. My church, we had a camp meeting one time like that, and we did our 4 designs, and those designs, none of them were suitable for. They were not what we wanted to communicate. They were not it. And so when I now saw the money that we spent for these 4 designs, and at the end of the day, it was later we now had to do another design that my elder brother now did. My elder brother did the design that we finally did. And so when I looked at it, look at the money that we spent, I just sat down and I'm like, can I not do this thing? What is even in this design that I cannot do? That was what now pushed me into, and I started using my phone. I just went online. I saw some phone. The first design I used, the first design I did was with my phone, flyer maker. And then I did the design. And when I got appraisal for it, I'm like, if I show you those designs now, I laugh over those designs because they are not, I did them ignorantly without the basic principles of graphic design, but then I had the passion. So I started doing those designs, and then suddenly, the interest came. I started looking at other people's work. I went on YouTube, started looking at the principles of graphic design, and I just went and I transferred. I just decided, in fact, I don't want to use my phone again. Let me go to system. And I went on the system. I got CorelDRAW. That was what I was using when I started. My first design on CorelDRAW, oh Lord, have mercy. But I did it anyway. And then when I do, I'll send to my other brother. He's going to criticize. He'll say this, that. And so that's how I started joining and learning the basic principles of design. I learned it over again. I learned how not to do things, and this is where I am. It has been a sweet journey, and I'm still learning how not to do some things. Okay, so that's my brand story, and it's a very sweet story. If I enjoy it anytime I say it because it didn't look real to me. And I started doing design because I felt like I saw a need and I wanted to meet that need. So I started, developing myself to meet it, and I'm meeting it perfectly well. In fact, I'm not eating money from it. I did not go to any graphic design school to go and sit down and learn. It was just a need I saw and decided to meet it. So that's what your business should be about. Having a need, seeing a need in the society first off, and then making efforts to meet those needs, and meeting those needs in creative ways. That's where your branding now comes in. Meeting the needs of your society or the world in a creative way. Okay, so that's basically another statement that we can say about branding. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next line. Branding versus marketing. Branding versus marketing. All right, so far, does anybody want to give it a trial? Branding versus marketing, like how do you think branding is related to marketing? Does anyone want to give it a go? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're with you, ma'am. We're with you.
All right, okay,
yes, we're with you, ma'am.
We don't have much time left, so let's proceed so that we can be able to finish on this slide before our time gets exhausted. Okay, so as a business owner, it is very essential for you to understand branding and marketing, so that you can effectively utilize them together, can be able to use the two of them together. So now, your branding is your strategy. Marketing is your tool. Branding is your strategy. Marketing is your tool. Okay? Branding is your strategy. This is how I want to come out. Then marketing is that tool that you use to come out. So marketing is the process of getting people interested in your products or services. See, getting people interested in your products or services, that's what your marketing is. And then your branding is the strategy that you use to get people interested. Okay, so it's the process of understanding your customers, building and maintaining relationships with them. It refers to the tools you use to deliver the message of your brand. So what are the tools you use to deliver the message? Largely now it is social media. Social media now is like the larger markets out there. Okay, so marketing will continually change and evolve, like trends change. Social media was not the marketing tool before. It was word to word. There were emails now. People don't really use emails again. They were used, but emails was a larger part of marketing then. Newsletters, newspapers back then. You see, but then just imagine that somebody is marketing on newspapers. What do you think will happen to that person's business? Like in this time, on this day and time, somebody still goes to market on newspaper. What do you think will happen? Talk back to me, guys. What do you think will happen? What do you think? I place an advert on the newspaper. What will happen to it?
You will meet your target audience.
I'm telling you. Because one, the people that are on newspaper stands are people that argue. Have you noticed that people that are on the people that they are always arguing about football, arguing about Nigeria, arguing about this? They don't. What they want to see is headline. Nobody. They are not even reading it to see what is inside. Back then, I used to look at newspaper to look at the cartoon that is inside. I didn't care what the news or the story that is inside. So just imagine somebody now using newspaper as a tool to market, having a very well crafted message, and then at the end, you now go and use newspaper. So you see, so it's very important to evolve as the times evolve. So you see, marketing will eventually change. It continues to evolve. It will evolve. It will evolve. Just like now, the introduction of AI now to to trend. Introduction of AI, just look at it now. AI is now, I don't know, even some of us are not really comfortable with it. So you see, so the same way products and services you offer will continue to change and evolve. Marketing is vast and wide, and it has so many strategies depending on the kind of audience that you want to reach. Yes, depending on the kind of audience that you want to reach. So if you are if your audience is the people that are on the newspaper stand, you can decide to, if you know that you have audience, then you can decide to market on the newspaper. But if you don't, then no. If your audiences are in churches, you don't need to, most times, you don't need to go on social media. If your audience, you can, even in your church, there are ways, you can go to churches, just decide to offer them, or just take their logo from somewhere, just tell them, okay, this is a free gift I'm giving to your pastor. There are creative ways of doing this thing. We are not really talking about marketing now. We're just talking about branding and marketing. Okay, we're just talking about the differences. Okay, so marketing is vast and wide, and depending on the kind of audience you want, there are different strategies to it, depending on the audience you want. So you see, branding is also very essential in your marketing too, because it's branding that will help you to know the audience that you want. And then marketing will now help you to push it to the audience. Okay. And so there are different types of marketing: content marketing, largely on social media; mobile marketing, television, radio, social media, and a host of many others. If you know that your audiences, you will be on radio stations, well, why not give it a try? You have the resources for it. You go on and do it, and decide to do a promo on you get. So you see, they are working hand in hand, marketing and branding. Because if you don't understand your branding, it will be hard for you to market. You need to be able to narrow down these things that we have said about branding, so that when you are going out to market, you are doing it with intentionality. You are doing it so that you'll be able to convert. You'll be able to convert more sales. You'll be able to convert. You get, because at the end of the day, it's conversion, and that conversion is is the value, the branding again, that you deliver to them, that you show to them, so you're able to convert more sales as the day goes by. Right? So your branding is very important, because your marketing has to be intentional. You have a specific, you hit the nail on the head. It's not turning around, meeting everybody. At the end, nothing come out. Okay? So now, how to brand yourself as a brand. How to brand yourself. Personal branding is all about giving. Yes, I need to emphasize that branding is about giving. Branding is about giving. First off, you give, then you receive. You don't receive and then you give. You give first off, and then you receive. So you have to always, and that's one of the reasons why, as an individual, as a person, as a business, you have to be progressing in your knowledge of things. You have to be progressing in your knowledge of things, so that you can be able to give. There are also educational content that you can put out there. That's one of the content that chefs they create now. You can look at the food vendors on social media that are selling food. One of the ways they used to get their market now, or they used to make their sales, is by putting out content, educative content on how to make this, how to make that. So by the time they're putting out that, somebody sees that and, well, feels like making it, but maybe does not have the resources, and the thing looks appetizing. You just order a plate, or order 2 plates, order 3 plates, you get. So you see, branding is very important. Your own self, your own growth too is very important, and branding is all about growing. So as an individual, as a person, as a business, growth is very, 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 very paramount. You need to grow, you need to evolve, grow, read, explore everything about your business. Become a professional. So that when you are talking with this confidence. You get to a point where, like me, for example, there's some business deals I don't take currently. I send them out to my younger brother works for me. There's some businesses I don't take. I send it to him because I feel like at this level of professionalism that I've come to, I should. Do you understand? Like this confidence, like, and you see, it's not like you lost, but because you already value yourself and you know the kind of value that you're giving out. Somebody that comes to, and the truth is, by the time you know your worth yourself as a business, anybody that goes will come back. That's it. Anybody that goes will come back. By the time they see that this person is serious with this thing, by the time they go, they will come back after they've seen it. So branding is all about giving. I just had to say that because very important. Okay, so the first thing is to define your brand and become an expert, like everything I just said now. Define your brand, become an expert. Establish a presence, narrow down your niche. If it is footwear for ladies, it's for ladies of all ages, age 10 to 20, age 20 to 30, become an expert. That you now have speed. If 2 years ago you delivered like 20 hours, by this year, you should be able to deliver at 3 hours. That kind of expertise, so that your prices also will increase. And then by the time that is increasing, people will see the value and they will pay you. Okay, so establish a presence, social media around your neighbors, your family, your friends, talk to them, network, just creating a network of persons around you. Sometimes you can decide to do a free job for somebody that is influential, and by the time somebody else sees what that person is wearing, that kind of thing. Generate brand awareness through networking. Remember the 3 C's of branding: clarity, consistency, constancy. Basically, almost same thing, but they are different in their own ways. Get feedback from those who you know best, at work, at home, anywhere. It's just like mentorship. Mentorship. Or also getting feedback from your clients, very important. Hope we're able to serve you well. Were you satisfied? Is there anything that we did that you don't like, or anywhere you think we can improve to serve you better? In banks, you see, if you have a customer, if you have a complaint, please just write it and put it in this box, something like that. If you take those things seriously, or take this little thing seriously, I'm telling you, in no time, you will be out there and you'll be satisfied in doing what you are doing. Are we following? Is it making sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Sorry. Yes, ma.
Okay, at this point, we have time for questions and answers. You can ask me your questions now. I will willingly answer them detailedly. Any challenge or for anywhere that you don't understand, any question, you can answer them. Does anybody have any question? We have room for questions and answers now.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. You talked about the 3 C's,
Yes.
which are clarity, consistency, and constancy. Please, I want to I want you to put a light on the difference between that consistency and constancy.
Okay. Consistency is like you doing it now in the same how do I put it now? Let's see. Let me use an example. Let me use an example to explain this. For example, let's say you do a post on social media. You're
Yes.
posting social media, and you're posting at a particular time, at a particular day
Okay.
for every week.
Yes.
And
Yes.
now you doing it every week, that's you being consistent
Yes. Yes.
in your posting. You're posting, yes, that's you being consistent in your posting. You're doing it every week. Now, constancy is remaining in the time frame around the area of your niche. I don't know if you understand me.
I understand.
You are constantly, consistently posting. That's it's related though, but see, you can be posting consistently, but not constantly. Do you agree? Because the language is almost, you can be posting consistently, but not constantly. Because that constant there is like you are solid. You
Okay,
are
that's
around,
my
you have not left your brand,
yes.
Do you understand now?
Yes, ma'am.
You are clear, you are consistent, you are constant. So you are still, in fact, see, you can generate content on only around who you are. You can be communicating your brand, like who your content can be around who you are in different ways. And that can be maybe for a month or two, that can be your social media post, and in creative ways. So I don't know if you understand what I mean by that.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any other question?
Yes, ma'am. My name is
All right.
Thomas Sidagu, Tom's Food Global. I want
All
to
right.
know, complementary business card, is it part of marketing tools or branding?
It's complementary business card. It's branding, but it's also a marketing tool. Because it is in your brand, it's in your branding. That's when you're creating your visual identity. That's where, now in the process of creating your logo, your brand, all those things, your color palette and all those, your typography and all that, your visual identity basically. In that process of creating it, that's where, if you contracted it to a graphic designer, and the graphic designer is supposed to deliver you with your letterhead, your logo, your business card, and maybe a customized t-shirt design, all soft copy. So it's in your branding process that all those things are created. Then you can use it as a tool for marketing. Do you
Thank you
get
so
it? So
much.
branding is the strategy, marketing is the tool. So yes, that is your branding process that you create your complementary card. Then you can use it as a marketing tool to say, okay, this is my business card. Please call me. And it's also consistent with your brand. All right. So do you understand?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Please ask your questions. Ask your questions. Is there another question? Just ask your question anywhere you have. Maybe you're not too sure about anything. Ask your questions.
Okay, ma'am. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
This Uzo Darlington speaking.
Yeah.
In the process of branding, and you discover that you have a similar competitor that has the same branding style like you intend doing, and you still want to maintain your brand. So what do you do in that case?
By that, do you mean, is it the visual representation like the logo or something? Or like in the
Yes.
Like, for example,
Yes,
there is already a brand out there that is similar to what
yes.
to your brand.
Like maybe you want to do footwear, and someone is already using a footwear to design his own brand for his own, and how do you work around it so that it doesn't look the same?
Like I said, everything is unique. You know, there is in fact, there are so many footwear people out there. Okay, so you must have what differentiates you from them. In fact, one of the ways for you to beat them, or let me not say for you to stand out, because it's not like, well, everybody is in its own pace and line of growth. So one of the ways to, I learned this when I did a course I think in December, in January rather. That's when I learned this, that, you know, learn from professionals, learn from people that you see that are, you know, maybe doing well or far, you know, they have a stable, they are stable. So you go, if you notice that person is similar with what you want to do, if the person has a page on social media, you go over it, you look at the page, you look at how the person did his own arrangement, and then you tweak it. Do you understand? There's no like law that says that. In fact, copying is allowed.
Okay.
Yes, copying is
But
allowed.
just okay.
Yes, but you must be able to. If you are copying somebody, you must be able to deliver more than them. Do you get? Because everything is for your growth. Everything is
Okay, that will lead me to my next question.
Yes. I'm with you. I can't hear you. Are you speaking?
I'm
Your line is breaking. I can't hear you very
still
well.
with you, ma.
All right.
You talk customers or your clients. Yeah. You talk about getting feedback from your client.
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
You talk about getting feedback from your client, your customers, your audience. Now, what are the feedback you're doing your first like 3 months of advertising, and the feedbacks you're getting are trying to shift you away from your brand? What do you do? Maybe your customers are trying to make you see that this is how they want it. That's not how you want it. You keep posting because this is where you want to get your money. Because your customers are complaining.
Okay. Now, this is a very tricky question, but you see, now you are your brand. Your brand is you. Your brand is a person. Your brand has a name. Your brand has an identity. Now, see, those kind of customers, they are not your customers. Yes. People that want to change. Now, there are different ways to that this thing works. You know, see, if you notice that somebody is pushing, see, that's why we were talking about it and saying that your brand is a personality. You need to have integrity, you need to have this, you need to have that, you need to have stability and consistency. You see? So, me, I'm a graphic designer. I don't design logos. I used to design logos, but I stopped designing logos because I felt that I saw that I didn't have any flair for it. And so when somebody comes to me and say that they want a logo, I refer them Do you get? I now refer them to somebody else and say, no, we don't do this in our brand. This is what we do. This is the services we can offer you. And so somebody, if you meet clients that gives you feedback and tell you that they don't want this thing to be done like this, now, if you can do it, you do it for them. You do it for them. Then you tell them that this is not part of my services. I'm just doing it for you because I can do it. This is what I offer as a brand. But if you cannot do it, then you can refer them to maybe a friend or somebody else that can deliver what they want. I don't know if that answers your question very well. Are you on the line? Can you hear me? Oh. Can you hear me? No, can you hear me? Maybe his network or he dropped off or something. Is there any?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Any other question from anybody?
Yes, good afternoon. Please, I was asking on the chat that what is that clear difference between a mission and vision statement? I actually understand it, but is there a clear difference that when you want to just say it to a layman, how can you just say to them that, oh, this is what mission statement means and this is what vision statement means? Thank you.
Okay. Vision and mission statement. Your vision is your aspiration. Okay, it's more like my vision is that I want to feed the whole of Africa. Excuse me.
Sorry, take care.
Yeah, let me just take some water. I'll be fine. Vision is what you see about your business. Okay, so that's what your vision is like your idea, the idea around your business. Then the mission is what the business is going to achieve. So the idea is like, maybe you have an idea to the reason why you are doing your business or the idea behind your business, rather. Your mission is also how you plan to do it, the audiences, a company I worked for had a mission statement that says the vision is a healthy and happy. The mission is to, reach the whole of Africa with health issues and chronic diseases, something like that. All right. So your vision is the idea. The idea. This is my vision, the idea around my business. Then the mission covers, this is our mission. Our mission in fact, the mission statement, mission is as much as it is futuristic, it is part time. For example, you can have a 3-month mission to meet, maybe if it's an NGO or something, they can have a 3-month mission to reach Africa, the whole of Africa. They can have another mission to reach the whole of Nigeria. So I don't know if you understand that. So vision is the idea.
Thank you.
Yes. Then the mission is this thing. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Welcome. Okay, please ask a question. Okay. Which is the best social media platform to develop your personal brand? the best social media platform to develop your personal brand? I would say Instagram and Facebook. I would say use Instagram and Facebook. Since it's a personal brand, Instagram and Facebook, then connect your Instagram and your Facebook together. There's a way to do those settings, connect it, or more of Instagram. Then we can add TikTok, yes, TikTok, because TikTok is more fun stuff. So TikTok can be added now because LinkedIn and Twitter are more of corporate, very serious and formal set of people. That audience, you know. So with Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, you can build your personal brand and have a consistency. Yes. Is there any other question? Please ask questions. We have about 15 minutes to go. You can ask the question.
I post for 12 p.m. every Monday morning. Do you need to repeat the process again just to make sure that you meet your particular audience?
Yes.
That's for
social media. Okay. For social media, it is very important. In fact, I did the research because I did the research. I did a very intensive research on social media consistency. So for social media, it's not like there are everybody has. It's not really your audience per se. It is you meet your audience when you are running an ad. Then for social media, for Instagram or Facebook, the people that are on your friends list, you get the people that are your friends or the people that you follow, there is a particular time that they are all online, or there is a particular time that a high number of people are active. So it is good to post at that particular time. It's not like you post at a particular time that you post by 12 p.m. If you know that they are active by 12 p.m., if you have noticed that you have a higher level of engagement when you post by 11 or when you post by 4, when you post by 2 or when you post by 3. And for everybody's social media, the metrics are different. The metrics are different for everyone. So mine can be 11 a.m. I noticed a higher number when I post by 11 a.m. or 4 p.m. So I started maintaining those numbers. Now, the reason is because you can decide to look, that's why I said you evaluate your distance. You can go to your insights, look at the time that you posted, just take note of the times and the engagements on them. You see the ones with the highest number and then just continue with that time like that. If it's a social media post, but generally consistency is good. Consistent. Right? I don't know if I have the question.
Yeah, the last question, man.
All right.
The last question.
Okay.
Now, when you're posting and you're having feedback from clients, you understand? They want to order, and your supply power outweighs your demand. And do you stop posting because you're trying to attend to those customers you have on ground? Will it affect your brand? People will be like, this guy is no more posting. What's happening? So how do you manage such scenario?
You don't stop posting. See, the thing is now it's now part of your, like we all said, branding. Very important. Now, how you now deliver your services. You don't stop posting. You let them know if it's something that they can get in the next week, or you can even change the style of your posting and say, okay, pre-order, or you get it in 2 weeks, or you get it in 3 weeks time. Just make sure that the time that you say that, yes, they get it at that particular time, do you understand? So that you don't weary yourself, and then at the end of the day, you carry that you cannot be able to meet up. So you can give a 3 day brief period of time. It just all depends on your tactics, but you just have to make sure that you say you deliver when you say you deliver. That's just it. All right.
Hello, man. Sorry, my last question, man.
All right.
If mission is what you set to achieve in business, then what is targeting?
Target is same thing, but at a particular time and period. Your target for what is my target for the month? What do I want to achieve? Or what do I want to meet at the end of 2 months? Okay, I want to hit 1 million for 6 months. I want to make sure that I have a profit of 1 million for 6 months. I target it, and everything I'm doing is so that I can hit it or cross it. You get something that you keep in view. You keep it in view. Mission is more like a broad statement. Mission and vision, they are broad statements. Target is narrowing down, is pushing yourself, like making efforts. You pushing yourself, if, for example, if you are into, maybe you produce soaps or something, and you say my target for the month is producing 50 parts of soap for the month, and then you strive the month. My target for the month is producing this. It also helps you to grow personally as an individual and also as a brand. Okay, so that answered the question.
Thank you very much, man. God bless you, man.
Any other question?
Mine is actually a question. Actually a question.
Okay.
I'm thinking about other in their field. So that's where my question is going to.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well.
It's talking about the fact that people could copy successful professionals in their field.
Okay, yes.
They are saying things and probably try to do it better than those people. Yes, I believe that it's something that can help people that are still trying to come up in the industry. But there was a job I did recently, and I did a design and branded some things for a set of people. And there was this other designer who wasn't given that same job to do. But I noticed that after I delivered the job, I saw this other person. He copied my designs, copied my concepts, copied where I did the typography. It just changed the color. And I didn't think about it because the person doing that now, he copied my design using the same typography concept that I used. Okay, let me say it's a place that I'm not in. When somebody wants to give out a job and they're looking for the person that did the work, it can be confusing. They would think it's the other person that did the job, and maybe now you are the one that copied it. So I think that when people are copying other people's ideas and concepts, it should not be like copying it to the latter. Like it should change some things, totally change some things about it. Because me now, I didn't feel good about it because I worked very hard on creating that design, on using particular typographies I used that made the design to come out really nice. I was just surprised that why would somebody else just copy exactly as in everything, all the elements I included in that design, person copied everything. And I didn't feel good about it. And sorry, there's another situation too that I did the design for a particular organization, and there was another vendor who got some of the designs, like some of the things I produced, she got them. She was one of those that we sold those things. And when mine finished, instead of her to come to me to ask for more to be produced so that I could supply them more, she went with one of the things I produced, to the market and told someone to replicate the exact things I did. So the person replicated the thing the same way I did it. Like if you see it, you would think I'm the one that did it. I was like, wondering, why would you do that? Like this is a total plagiarism now.
Yes,
like you
it
just
is.
copy the old yes, like she copied everything, the same kind of products I used. My exact design, the way it is, she just replicated it, but I went to go and mass produce it. And I felt offended. Why would you do that kind of thing?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to shed some light on this copying so that people will not just go and copy things because it's just somebody doing something and people like it. You just go and copy it word for word, the same way the person did it. Just lifted it and went to.
Let me change the word. Because I'm not, let's not use copying. Just use it you can use them as inspiration to drive your work, not exactly copy. Because yes, I've been in that situation before where somebody went to copy my work, and the worst part is that the person did not do it as lovely as I would have done it. Yeah, so copied my work and I didn't feel good about it too. So that's designers. I go on to just gather inspiration and then you become my own design. Okay. It's not like copying somebody word for word and maybe just changing your name or even copying the person's name. No. Just use it as a source of inspiration to guide you in your own creation process or any other thing that you are doing. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go and copy and paste. No, I didn't mean copy and paste. No, it's not nice because those are people's efforts and everybody has their own creativity inside of them. So by the time you see, you may have an idea from somebody's work. You may have your own idea. So that's why it's good to just, look at other people that their works are nice. Just look at it and then just have your own, form your own idea, form your own creativity. Okay. So that's it. Doesn't necessarily mean that you copy the person word for word, right? Okay. So is there any other question? We have 3 minutes.
I was saying that how can we protect our intellectual property in a case like this?
How can we
protect our intellectual property, like such that people don't just go there, lift your job and just go mass produce it somewhere else? In Nigeria, where we know that some of these things don't actually work.
Yeah, but the truth is that we cannot really 100% secure these things. But if you're putting out your work online, it's good to, that's why logo is important. It's good to, if it's maybe a video reel, you can just add your phone number across it so that no matter what anybody does, they can't steal it. You can watermark it. You can decide to watermark if you're putting it online, you can decide to watermark your jobs online, just have a way of, and that's one of the ways too of showing your brand consistency. When you are watermarking something and it is consistently at a particular place in a particular way. If you look at TikTok, the TikTok logo and the name and the name down of it, you just notice that some people's own are up, some people's own are left. It's just the same thing. It's just watermarked. There's nothing you can do in this life to remove that TikTok logo, as long as you are using that TikTok app. Anybody that sees that video will know that you use TikTok to do it. So that's one of the ways. Just watermark your things. If you're producing and you have to do adverts online, maybe you produce a footwear, you snap and you want to snap it in a very good way, put your logo on it, big. It's also a way of selling out this. Maybe you can just reduce it and friends, no matter what anybody does, they can't steal it, So it's just a way to just curtail one of those things. And
thank you very much.
All right. All right, we have 1 minute more. Is there
Attender, tender list.
Okay. All right. So that would be the end of the class. I just hope that you were able to get value for this class, right? Was it what I got?
Absolutely. It was engaging. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, I just saw this question. What are the things you look out for in getting a catchy brand? Those are like the things that we said. Those are the things it's just basically everything that we have just said. Looking at the basic elements of design, of not design, sorry, of branding. Looking at the basic, yes, you can get the slides. I'll send it to the admin, so I think she's going to forward slides to everybody. So you can just go through the slides, look at them again, and well, good. All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for